What's up everybody? Welcome to our channel Bandwidth, and today with me you will study quadratic equations, right? I guess you have heard about it. Well, let's start with an example first. Suppose I have 20 apples and I choose 3 students among you guys to give those apples. To one I give suppose I give x number of apples. To the second one I give 2x, and let's suppose to the third one I give 4x apples. So what will it be? First one x, second 2x, and third 4x. And how many apples do I have? 20. Now after giving them out, I don't have any apples left. So that means x plus 2x plus 4x is equal to 20, right? All the apples that you guys have. What is this? Now what is this? You're right. This is an equation. A simple equation. Here the highest power of x is 1. So this is termed as 1 degree polynomial or a monomial. What happens when power of x becomes 2 or even n? It is just called polynomial. When it is power of 2, it is known as binomial. This is what we'll talk about today. Let's talk about polynomial first. Now this is a polynomial. It is an n degree polynomial. What happens if n equals to 2? Don't regard these things. So what will it be? Ax to the power 2 plus bx plus c. What happens if we equal it with a constant? Suppose 2. This is what we call a quadratic equation, a 2 degree polynomial which is when equaled with a constant. Now this is a constant, right? So you can bring it up here and we can write x square plus bx plus c dash equals to 0, where a is a constant, b is a constant, c is a constant, and are known as coefficients. This is a variable. This is known as quadratic equation. You remember the first example, right, of the apples? What did we find there? The value of x, right? That was how many apples we gave to the first person. Here also we can find the value of x. Now how many values of x will be there? There were 1 in the first example where power of x was 1. So the highest power of x will be the number of results that will be given out. Here power of x is 2, maximum power of x. So there will be 2 results of x which are known as 2 roots of the quadratic equation. Now there are a few rules that must be obliged for it to be a quadratic equation. First rule, this value should not be equal to 0. The coefficient of the term of x which has the highest power in the whole equation should not be equal to 0. Second, a, b, c, or in this case c dash, should be real. and not imaginary. I know you guys don't know about imaginary, but you at least know this, as root over minus 1, this doesn't exist. Now when in a term, this term comes in it, it is known as imaginary, and if this does not exist in that term, it is known as real. So these three terms should not contain this one. These are the two rules that must be followed in order for equation to be a quadratic equation. Let's take another example then. Now try to bring it in the format of x plus a whole square. You can't, right? So let's take a stereotype equation. Let's try to solve x from this equation. What are we gonna do? Let's divide both sides with a. We get x square, as because a divides a, plus b by ax plus c by a equals to 0. Now of course 0 by a is 0. Everybody knows that. Come on. Next, take c by a on the right hand side. What comes? Now what you ought to do, you have to bring something square in this side. Now consider these two terms. This is the square of x. This can be of the format of 2 into a into b, where a plus b whole square is the outer part, the final term. So what will be here? X is suppose a, so x, you have to find something b multiplied with 2, which gives this. So this comes, right? So the next term will be x square plus b by ax plus square of this term, which is b, and adding the same thing on the right hand side, we get this. I hope you guys are noting down this one. You will need it. What comes next? X plus b by 2a whole square gives b square minus 4ac by 4a square. You guys noted it down? I'm going on the other part. Keep this term intact for now. Okay, let's remove the square from this term actually. Now let's separate. Now what was your doing? All this time you have been trying to separate x in a completely single side and having no power except 1. That was your target. Now see, in this whole thing there is only x to the power 1 on one side and nothing else, right? So keeping x on one side, we get minus b by 2a plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Now guys, This is a very important formula. You have to remember this. The derivation was merely an example to show you how to calculate it, but you have to remember this formula. Now I know you guys have some questions, and one of the major ones is why this, right? Just wait a second, I'll explain. Please copy it fast. If you haven't, I'm going to rub it. What we did was root of a constant. Suppose c equals to 9 and a equals to root c, root 9. What maximum of you have learned? It is 3. But 1% of you know it can also be minus 3. 3 square equals to 9, minus 3 square is also equals to 9. So that's why there was a plus minus sign. You get it now? Now there are a few more things that I need to tell you. In a quadratic equation, as I have told you, maximum power of x is 2. So there are two roots of the equation, which are see, you found the two roots of the equation. You can use this formula to calculate in the second example that I took, that was not solved by x plus a whole square form. Let's solve this question using this formula. X equals to, this is a, this is b, this is c. X equals to minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a minus 5 plus minus root over 25 minus 4 into 2 into 4 by 2 into 2, which equals root over 4 for the 16 to the 32. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. 25 minus 32. Now there is a problem, guys. As I told you, you will get the answer in this form, but as you can see, here comes a negative term inside roots. What are you going to do then? Minus 5 plus minus, let's take it up here. Minus 5 plus minus root over, which is 7, minus 7 by 4, minus 5 plus minus I root 7 by 4. Now what is I? You see what is I now? I will not go into deeper details of this. You will learn it in complex numbers, but not now. If there wasn't a negative term inside roots, there wouldn't be an I, and you would have got two different values.